Hey everyone, I am coming to you from sunny South Carolina. I apologize for the delay in getting feedback to you and sending this video to you. It's also going to probably be shorter, which some of you may be very pleased about, but wanted to touch base and let you know I'm puppy sitting at the moment my grandpup, who is very into chasing balls, and she keeps dropping her dirty ball on my pants. Here we go. Okay. So, your work on the teamwork papers were very well done. One thing I'm going to encourage you from an APA standpoint to continue to do is to be sure that you are checking your line spacings, that you are verifying that your settings are correct. In your paper formatting, and that you are using appropriate APA headings. You should not be turning in a paper that does not have level 1 headings throughout, and at this point the complexity of your papers, if it's more than 2 or 3 pages, should have level 2 headings. When it gets to 5, 6, 7 pages, then you need to be adding level 3 headings. Again, this is to not just help organize your writing, but also to guide your reader, so it's not optional. Make sure that you're using scholarly sources to support your key ideas. It's okay for you to have great ideas because you're experts in your own practice, many of you. So for you to say, this is what I've seen, that's great. Bolster that value from an academic standpoint or from a scholarly standpoint by saying, this has been my experience and it's backed up by what this researcher has said. So be sure that you're doing that. Also want to make sure that you are using correct grammar and syntax. If you struggle with one thing, let's say it's paragraph structure or the use of subject and verb agreement, do not get frustrated and feel like you are the only one that has a thing that you're not an expert at or great at in graduate level writing or professional writing. It's very common. We all have writing opportunities. I've been teaching 9 and 10 years. I've been a nurse 25 years. I am well past the age of needing grammar in school, but I am a horrific speller. And I have done everything I know to fix my horrific spelling. I'm the person that writes a word and it looks perfectly right, and then you get the little red wiggly sign from Word, and Word has no suggestions because they can't even figure out what they think you thought you were trying to say. That would be me. So if there's something that you struggle with, folks, just be intentional about developing that skill. Don't take it as you're a failure at writing or you're never going to get this or get frustrated with it. Writing is like every other skill. You did not get on a bike the first time and immediately start pedaling. You had to practice like every other thing that you're really good at. Continue to just be committed to finding one thing about your writing that you're committed to polishing and improving. That's my goal for you. So that's about my grandpup Charlotte is not quite an adult. Yes, you are 2. And she is all about chasing the ball, and I'm so afraid of what is on my hands now that I realize how many times I have picked up that nasty ball. Needing to say, Purell is going to be my best friend in a few moments. Okay, let's talk about your exercise that is due. It's reflective exercise number 2. I'm not going to run through this whole assignment with you. What I want to tell you is the complexity of this paper. Again, as I said a few moments ago, you're going to use level headings 1, 2, and likely 3 if you're breaking this down with enough detail. The 2 areas that people struggle with, the schematic, the representation of your professional practice model needs to be an original professional practice model, not a professional practice model in your organization that's already existing, but one that you have developed on your own. A schematic is a picture of that professional practice model. Word has tools that help you design a professional practice model. You can use directional arrows, you can use boxes, you can use graphs, however you want to develop it. Here's the thing that people struggle with is they create a professional practice model, but don't connect the key ideas with the theoretical underpinning and don't relate the ideas. So sit down with a blank sheet of paper and a pencil and draw out what you think this looks like. What are the key concepts of your professional practice model? How are they related to your other key ideas? And include your theoretical framework in some way in your schematic. The idea for our community is that they looked at someone's professional practice model, and you can see, I think I gave you 3 or 4 examples. You can look at it and get a pretty good idea of what they're all about. That's the goal for you, is that you'll do this. The other thing to note, it's now wet and slobbery, in case you're wondering what that was. That was the ball. The other piece of this from an APA standpoint is you're going to add your professional practice model, which is a schematic, which is the other word for a pretty picture. You're going to add it as a figure, which is what you embed into the body of a paper, or an appendix. Whether you choose to add it in a figure or an appendix, there's an appropriate APA format to do exactly that. Follow that format for wherever you want to place it. Okay, one is more complex than the other. Use your own judgment in how you want your paper to flow, but remember that you're going to put this all together and then insert it into your paper. Okay. My hope is that you are well on your way in this process, and that I am just giving you some fine-tuning at this point. It is Friday. Okay, and again, I just want to reiterate that you want to make sure that you're using a theoretical framework that is relevant to your professional practice model. So just make sure you're tying all those key ideas together. Let me know how you are. I realize that it's Friday. I don't even know what time it is. I think it's around lunchtime. I'm around this weekend, so if you have questions or concerns, send me an email and I'll try to get back with you. I am not going to be back in the state. I'm not going to be back at my home computer for a little while yet, but I will try to stay as dialed in as I can. So if there's a delay in getting back with you, it's because I'm dealing with real life, and I know you all, as busy professionals who are family members and moms and dads and children, that you get that sometimes life happens and hijacks best laid plans. So I would covet your prayers for wellness and safety for my family, as well as travel mercies. So please know that I'm thinking about you. Let me know how I can support you in the coming weeks. Y'all take care. Charlotte and Casey say goodbye. Take care.